So, one of the many gifts of Kundalini awakening, and I think some people just have it naturally without the Kundalini awakening itself. So, like, honestly, a lot of these things, I say they come with Kundalini, but some people have access to them before the fact. And some people have access to them before the fact and they don't know that's what's happening. And one of those is channeling. Channeling is like a person that is able to tune into a frequency of a radio station that's going on in the ethers and able to pick up on signals that are coming universally from all sorts of different sources. And I believe that I've kind of been able to do that my entire life. I've noted during sessions with patients, since the beginning of my career, I would be able to like guide someone in a specific way that felt really intuitive. But what I would say after the fact, if it was like a really intensely moving session or we broke through to something and I was saying things that I didn't really understand where it was coming from, like these eurekas, these ways to connect and go like around corners that were sensitive to that person and get to the issue. I think most therapists know what I'm talking about. It's like it's weaving and bobbing so that the patient feels safe, so that, you know, they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel loved, they feel like, anyway, I would have these moments where it was just like chills from head to toe. The energy was thick in the room. There was something that was going on that was impossible to describe with human experience words. And after the fact, I'd sit and I journaled about it too. I'd be like, I don't know where that was coming from. That was coming from like a divine source, or was it God? Or, you know, didn't have the language for it. But now I understand that I was channeling from a source, and I can't for sure say what that source was back then, but I definitely know what sources I work with now. And so that's just it clarified it. Like I tuned in a little bit more clearly to what that origin was. And of course, light language is part of channeling. The written language, the spoken language. There's also movements of language, which is probably not yet the most fluent of my light languages. It usually involves a lot of like mantras and movements around like chakra systems. I usually use the hand light language when I am trying to clear out my channels. I notice that I do this a lot. It's really interesting, but I am planning to do some channeling of just like English words on here too, tapping into some of the sources I speak with as well. Just letting it all hang out. It's really, really cool. Honestly, it's very, very cool. And I'm sure a lot of you have those skills. What's so funny, not funny at all about it is that when I was younger, I used to really make a lot of judgments about my mom and her affiliation with the flavor of spirituality that she was interested in and driven to, and what spoke to her as being super weird. And like, gosh, there's some crazy Christians or whatever, because she did speak in tongues, and she would she would channel. She would definitely channel, but she called them words from the Lord, and it was automatic writing. She's done that my whole life. And what's funny about that too is that there's always lore that her mom, my grandma, was psychic, and she had like these knowings. And but my mom didn't like the word psychic because that was like associated with the occult or whatever in her mind. But she had all these skills too, you know. And then I gave her so much crap for it, and then here I am with my own level of skill. It's actually quite beautiful. It's this full circle thing. It's all connected. It's just different language. So stay tuned for some fun little channeling from Miss Audrey Mitchell.